Greetings and welcome to Gacha News for the week of May 30th, 2025. We have a few spicy things to talk over, so let's get into it. So the first one we're going to talk about is Nikke launching their Chinese server and how people went absolutely crazy because of two very specific things. The first is that they wanted basically two quantity of life changes to come to global a lot earlier than they currently are. The first is loading times, which they do address right here in this post. We can see here loading and storage optimization plans. If you go to their post, which I'll link down below in the description, you can see that they've been very slowly working on the loading times, which on mobile devices are extremely long. On my old S20 FE, it takes around 4 or 5 minutes for the game to actually load up, and it's barely capable of running as it is. So that is the very first thing that people have been wanting for a while. Now the second is a lot more strange, because what people are wanting is the modes that we get for completing certain events on global only have, I believe, a 40 or 50% chance of granting a SSR unit. On China, they changed this to a guaranteed SSR unit for every mode that isn't a common mode. And this rubbed people the wrong way, and I can sort of understand it, but I am in a relatively privileged position in that I've been playing since week 1, and I don't really need any more Nikkes from modes anymore, but a new player would definitely benefit from that. But you can also see it from their point of view in that the game has been going on for almost 3 years now. I believe this November will be its 3rd anniversary. And the players that have been playing this entire time have been using up modes as they have gotten them, and basically sometimes getting an SSR unit, most of the times not really. But what happened is suddenly all of those players see all the new players getting guaranteed SSRs from the modes that they got nothing from. The players that have been playing the longest and have been your loyal customers, would feel be cheated out. And I believe that is why they have not done that implementation for modes yet. Something they could do is replace the old mode system with a new mode system. Basically any old mode that you have lying around stays there and you use it up, or you can trade it in for something else. But some new modes, the new modes would have new units. Perhaps there's a guaranteed SSR, but you don't get as many modes as you do currently. So that would be somewhat of a middle ground, but they've got more important things to worry about. Then over in our Arknight's territory, we have the release, well, not the release, but the tease of the Exodus from the Pale Sea event. Basically, Thorn's Altar release event, and me personally, I'm not really that interested in the event. I'm not really interested in Thorn's Altar. I have his base version, but really because he's one of those core units that you want on your team, because he does something nobody else really does. But that's really about it. So if you play Arkness like I do, you can look forward to this for next week on June the 5th. I believe that would be on Wednesday, as usual. Then, Fate Grand Order. We have pre-registration for the Medusa Saber event, which unfortunately for her, she came out in a year that is absolutely stacked with top tier servants, and for her, I don't know of anybody that is going to actually pull for her, especially since we are getting Ask the Savior around June, and then July, August, we are getting the summer event, which has Castoria Berserker, the currently most universal and powerful DPS unit in the game, along with the 3 fairies from Avalon, the Fae, in their streams of variants. So yeah, she's not gonna get any quartz from me, unfortunately. But if you're after Medusa Saber, you are going to be able to pull for her relatively soon. Then Zenless Zone Zero. Basically, version 2.0 is very much on the way, and I believe it is going to come next week. I believe it's going to come out June 4th or 5th, probably. As you can see in this little trailer, they teased us with Miyabi basically going toe-to-toe with Yushuan, which speaks a lot about Yushuan, because I would say more about Miyabi because she is the youngest Void Hunter ever, and she is a bit of a spaz, if we're honest. But in this trailer, we get to see them go one-on-one, and they basically show off what they can do. Sort of. So yeah, that's going to be happening next week, probably. Although I do believe the first banner is going to be for Jufufu, which isn't as big as a priority for me. I do have lighter, although I could use maybe a second fire stunner. That way I can use lighter on my ice team when both fire and ice are needed. But alas, that is what is going on in Zenzo Zero. A big hype is going on with this because a lot of stuff is going on, especially some NPCs and all that other stuff. Then lastly, Girls Frontline 2. This week finally released the, the challenge missions for Yuhi's event. And then next week we're going to get this, Kalinian's commissions. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's just complete certain simple daily tasks and you get rewards. Pretty simple stuff. Now, the challenge missions, they can be challenging, especially for new players. I'm still only around level 40. Luckily, you can bring along a, a platoon support unit from one of the people in your platoon, and they can be max level, so that can usually help. Although, if we are facing off against the ice-making robot, I'm not sure who to bring this time, because last time we brought along a Klukai, and she helped against the boss from Vector's event, but this time I'm not too sure. But anyway, that's really pretty much it for Girls Frontline. Oh yeah, and we did get the little puzzle event. Let's see if we can find, yeah, this one, Inverse Cipher. Basically, it's around one mission a day that unlocks. It's a little bit of a puzzle that you need to kill everything or do a specific thing within a certain amount of turns. The first one was pretty complicated, if I'm pretty honest. I had to look up how to beat it, but the second and third ones weren't that difficult. The second one was very easy. The one from today took me a couple of attempts, but I figured it out on my own. So yeah, free resources and everything else. And lastly, today, Chasing Kaleido Rider is accepting submissions for their closed beta program. This is yet another gacha that we can try and play, although this one does have that thing where every single one of them is on a motorcycle, which is curious to say the least. You can actually go to their website and look at pretty much most of these characters. I don't think any of them are particularly interesting so far, although I haven't really paid attention to the development yet. I'm not even sure what the game is going to be about. But that is really it for news that I am aware of, at least. I don't play every gacha game, I don't play every Hoyoverse game, so if you have, throughout this next week, any news regarding Genshin, Star Rail, Honkai Impact 3rd, or any other piece of news that you think I should know about for one of these videos, you can @ me here on X. You can see my little tag down here over here. You can @ me at there, or you can probably comment on this video. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next week when we see what other fun news is happening in the gacha world. Hopefully people don't explode about a server getting something other people don't. But alas, that is life. Anyway, later.